The year is 2016. Stranger Things releases and introduces an entire new flock to the hobby of tabletops. No longer is it filled with only neckbeards and old guys who are way too invested in their stepdaughter's high school cheer team. Now it is filled with an influx of new fauna, black, white, young, and if my comment section is anything to go by, a little bit gayer.
And well guys, if I could still show you around, here is the biggest, gayest man in the world.
So gay! We are in an age of industrial revolution, but just as the people of the 1800s, new problems have arisen in the scene of D&D. Now, more than ever, a rapidly increasing number of dog character backstories are being created. From 30-page lore dumps to thinly veiled fetish characters, these backstories are written like the love child between Stephanie Meyer and Quan Mills. But worry not, my dear viewers, for I, Kosal, the greatest dungeon master to have ever graced your screen, shall lend a helping hand to your god-forsaken pen. Inshallah, brothers, get your ass up! It's time to make a goddamn D&D backstory.
I will not cut into the drive-thru to save time.
Listen here, my little chicharrones, every game is different. You can give 10 people the same writing prompt and they'll all have their own shitty interpretation of how to make that. Just look at every Korean manhwa after solo leveling. There's only so many Sungjin Woo copycat or a farming no Diddy Kai Cenat phase clans you can make. Sorry, I heard my little cousin say that, so I thought it'd help me hit a new demographic. You gotta understand what kind of campaign you're in and who you're playing with. Do you think the group of 40-year-old divorced tech support guys playing D&D 3 are gonna care about your cute anime warlock femboy that's also the warrior princess from the land of elves? You know what? Bad example. They probably are gonna fuck with that. What I'm saying is that you gotta have the appropriate character for the appropriate campaign.
But Kosal, D&D is all about creativity and doing what your imagination entails.
Shut the fuck up, nerd. You're in the goddamn big leagues now. We're here to up our roleplay and not have our potential be squandered by a little thing called having fun. That's for normies, like Ginny D or Bob Worldbuilder. If you got a more grounded game, don't go to your DM with a goblin that looks like Chris Chan. If the party is all good, then why make a chaotic evil character? I've said this before, haven't I? Oh well. It could be worse. I could be a channel that does D&D class builds. That sounds awful. Yep. Pretty bad. But on the flip side, this can potentially work if 1, you're good at it, or 2, you work with your DM and fellow players to incorporate that into the campaign in a good way. Unfortunately, most people will eventually drop the work that goes into doing that, and you just end up with a meme character that got boring to play 10 sessions ago. Who knew that doing the same thing for extensive amounts of time would eventually make you want to kill? I'm gonna suggest staying as the norm. Leave the intense character-driven arcs to your more experienced folk, and maybe one day you can work your way up there.
Encouragement and discipline are both necessary when developing your people.
Now, nephews and nieces, this is a big one. Making your backstory is as simple as 1, 2, maybe 3 paragraphs of who your character is. The truth of the matter is that long 10-page backstories are really only gonna be for you. In fact, I'd even say it might possibly be a detriment. Starting off simple is great because it gives you and your dungeon master some wiggle room to adapt to the campaign. Your DM can find ways to naturally incorporate your character into story beats, and you can adapt yourself as the campaign progresses. Because guess what? If you hadn't noticed, Dungeons and Dragons is a fucking improv game, and you gotta start improvising. You wanna make sure you got the basics down before you start throwing in your Game of Thrones political nonsense everywhere. And don't go too crazy with the drama. You want that shit to happen during the campaign. You want someone that can grow alongside the campaign with your fellow players. I would think more along the lines of what flaws they have, or what type of personality they'll have when going into a session. An edgy dark sword sorceress might have a slight penchant of PTSD, or a spiritual mystic might have a deep fascination with rocks, like a young earthy black girl in her mid-20s. And if you happen to be any one of those, my DMs are open. Now, after everything's said and done, I'm not telling you to not write a ridiculously long backstory if you personally enjoy doing so. So you can delete that little comment you were about to write. If you like doing something, then do it. I'm just saying that in a majority of cases, it'll either never come to fruition or will take an absurdly long time for your DM to naturally incorporate it into the campaign, which at that point you may not even be playing the same character, let alone remembering Article 2 subsection A of page 84 that dictates how much your character loves sitting in the back of taverns with a hood covering their face and thinking about the time they jorked it to some ogres. Just some thoughts for you.
Shit, you know what I'm here for. You know what I'm here for.
If you're a long-time viewer on this channel, then you know Papa Kosal loves his thievery. Plagiarism is dope. Woo! Thinking about stealing from randos on the internet gets me jacked. I'm jacked to the tits right now. Oh my god. I didn't even know my voice could do that. That is emasculating. Ooh, must have fell asleep to the Adventure Zone, am I right? Sorry, that was a low blow. Anyways, the same applies to your D&D characters, because no matter what corporations want you to believe, they can't copyright your personal tabletop games. Now, I always say that stealing is an art form. The best theft is the one that people never realize ever occurred, or it's so different that nobody actually cares. If you think about it, you're not even really stealing at that point. When you're stealing a character, there's 3 words you always gotta remember. Paraphrase, and damn it, I forgot the last one. It's probably not important. Let's take a look at one of my favorite characters that one of my players in my personal campaign have played. His name is Cecil BH, played by my friend Newt, whom you may recognize from previous videos.
This game is a Tumblr fanfic.
Free! I'm free!
I think they have made Swiss cheese of that old lady's poor brains.
All right, well, that's now my problem, and I take absolutely no responsibility.
Grapples, suplexes a plane, puts his back to the ground, cushions the fall, right? Plane, one piece, grounded, not in the towers. Then he can, rip open the door, get to the terrorists.
Cecil is a gnome artificer that believes in equality and has a very strict sense of morality. Throughout our campaign, he makes it a goal of his to take a young NPC girl under his wing and show her the wonders of magic. Now, that sounds a little weird when I put it like that, but trust me, it was more like a Last of Us Joel and Ellie kind of thing and not a R. Kelly in Ethiopia scenario.
Do you have your passport? Did you get your shots? Girl, would you like to come back with Ross? Ladies.
When his party does particularly evil things, Cecil makes sure to have a very distinct line he chooses to never cross. In fact, there's a time where he begins to wonder about his place in the party because of that.
I just don't see how that tying up an inebriated man can possibly be in the pursuit of good. But what do I do if I try and provide that guidance, but they shun it? I tried to explain to them why it was wrong, but they just poked fun at me and made jabs and then continued doing it.
Newt makes sure to play Cecil in a way that acts as a teacher or a guide for his fellow players and NPCs. You probably get the archetype he's going for right now. While Cecil initially comes off as a very rigid and firm in his belief character, Newt also plays Cecil to show that he is very emotionally vulnerable and will sporadically make decisions based off passion rather than logic.
Okay, young one, I know you were taken before your time, but you and your mother can pass on together.
Suddenly it pushes off the book and it jumps immediately towards Cecil's face.
I kick him in the fire. Oh no, little one, I'm so sorry.
Some of you may have guessed already, but this character is literally just Heimerdinger from League of Legends. In fact, it's Cecil's last words before leaving the party forever.
Don't die. I get sucked into a random location on the astral plane.
Nigga, it's one turn. There hasn't been like a rotation.
I put the bags inside each other. That means that the Reverend and these 2 people, as well as myself, will all disappear into the astral plane. As I put it inside, I turn to the party and I go, I never said my last name was Heimerdinger.
This part got copyright claimed, so I have to mute this section of the video. It's right there in Gambler's Frontier playlist or something like that. I don't know. I forgot what it's called. It's something like My Players Ruin My Finale or something like that. I don't know. Go watch that if you want to look at the whole little bit with the song. It's a pretty good bit. I think it's pretty cool. Not many people watched it, but it's there if you want to see it. It's been 3 years since I've ran that. Yes, I'm still pissed off about it. But Newt plays it in a way that's so good, nobody in the party recognizes this, despite the fact that everyone there used to have an obsession with that absolutely dog shit game. If you're gonna steal an idea, you have to be able to morph it into its own thing. Imitation may be the sincerest form of flattery, but exact replicas are
Stop right there, criminal scum! You violated the law by not subscribing to Kosal. Click the subscribe button now, or face the consequences. Then pay with your life.
Golly, you're the best. I'm going to fuck you and suck you and worship the ground you walk on. Let's fuck.
Lady, you know what I need. I need you on your knees, drinking every last drop up out of me.
You finally made it. You've gone through the trials and tribulations of making a D&D backstory. And for that, you should be proud. In fact, while your father may not be, I'm proud of you. But there's a golden rule when it comes to D&D backstories. Something that many fail to give credit. Or, at least, incorrectly. Shut the fuck up, nerd. You're in the goddamn big leagues now. We're here to up our roleplay and not have our potential be squandered by a little thing called having fun. That was a completely bullshit line. I believe the exact opposite. Having fun is literally the entire point of playing a tabletop, and even goes as far as your backstory. Because while the adventure may be the meat and potatoes of a D&D character, the backstory are the pillars to give you credibility, reasons to act the way that you do. Because with that foundation, there's nothing separating you from a 22-year-old college dropout that is still deeply infatuated with his Sonic fanfiction character and being a part of some questionable Discord servers. You just gotta have fun with it, man, and making sure everyone else at the table has fun too. But, my good friend, fun is subjective, but it's also objective. Objectively subjective. Did you know that some people on this platform have called me mean, a bully, an anarchist, a douche bag? Well, to those people, I pose the question, how does a dog react when it shits his own bed? Does it wallow? Does it feel bad about defecating on the property of its own master? Wrong. It's existential elation. That's what the true secret to tabletops is. Acceptance. Funny, man. Do you think this is a fucking joke? That I'm trying to be funny right now? It's the goddamn real world, man. They say D&D is all about pretend. That's what they fucking want you to think. They want to hop you up on the dreams of becoming the next critical role. Well, brother, I hate to break it to you, but it's a pack of hungry wolves in the buffet telling you to cut in line. Meanwhile, you're just a little sheep backing it up right into the dinner table. Well, guess what? We got no D20s here, only dreidels. Jumama.
Matt Mercer at 5:54 p.m. August 7th, Thursday evening. You must make your way to the local tabletop game store, Omnihedral, in Howard County, Maryland. Be there exactly on time and wear a 3-piece suit and have a character sheet for the fictional character, Bibby Longstocking.
The Great Flooding of Yahweh was a myth created by the Lizard King of Hasbro to infect our minds with microbial insects to fuel the greater experience.
You think this is a bit?
That this is all a joke?
Brother, I've never been more real in my life.
Listen here, young blood. There's 7 main players in Critical Role. Boss Machina. Machina. Now that means machine. That's an interesting word.
Machina.
Machine. Laogan ma chai na. That's 7 letters. There's 12 months.
In a year.
12 hours.
On a clock.
12 tribes of Israel. And 12 apostles of Jesus. You know what's also using 12? Daggerheart. Duality dice representing hope and fear. You want the real truth? That's it. The golden law of the Bible states, do unto others as you would others do unto you. Matthew 7:12. And you thought this was all a game. Just another skit in the tiny world of Kosal. But I don't teach the meaning. I just observe.
I just want to keep you safe from the Lemurians in case they decide to come back and transmit even more COVID vaccines
into the skeletal female hormonal productive systems of our dark mother.
But that's just a theory. A game theory. A game theory. And I'm your host, Kosal. I appreciate you listening to my video on how to make a D&D backstory. Because once you know the truth, well, it's hard to stay safe out there. Thank you. And good night. Who is this? This person looks familiar. Who is this? Is this the lady? Is this the daughter from Modern Family?
It's Trisha Paytas. Yes, it actually is.
No,
It
it's
actually
not.
is. I looked it up. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. She's kind of a snack. I gotta be honest.
Well, Thomas, she's 15.
That's not true.
It's a freak show.
That can't be true.
He's a liar.
The only one who's lied here is the guy who told me they were gonna buy Nuclear Nightmare.
Shut up, pedophile.